Welcome to Explore TV. Tonight, we delve into one of history's most chilling chapters, the witch hunts. What led to the persecution of thousands, predominantly women, across centuries? Were witches real, or were they victims of lies, fear, and superstition? Let's uncover the shocking truth. The night is dark, the forest is deep, shadows dance and twist, fueled by fear of the unknown. In these shadows, stories are whispered, tales of magic and mystery, of power and persecution. For centuries, the word witch has sent shivers down spines. It evokes images of cauldron smoke, of eerie chants, of women ostracized and feared. But where did these images come from? What led to the hunt for these so-called witches? History is a tapestry woven with threads of truth and lies. The witch hunts are a stark reminder of this, a period when fear and superstition reigned supreme. Thousands, mostly women, were accused, persecuted, and often met gruesome fates. But why? What drove ordinary people to turn on their neighbors, to see evil in the eyes of the innocent? To answer these questions, we must journey back in time to uncover the truth behind the lies. Our journey begins in the ancient world, where belief in magic was commonplace. People looked to healers, wise women, and shamans for guidance and healing. These individuals, often women, held knowledge of herbs, rituals, and the natural world. But as Christianity spread throughout Europe, these practices were viewed with suspicion. The Church, seeking to consolidate its power, demonized ancient traditions, labeling them as witchcraft and heresy. The Malleus Maleficarum, the hammer of witches, emerged as a chilling testament to this persecution. This infamous text, published in 1486, served as a guide to identify, torture, and execute suspected witches. Driven by fear and fueled by this dangerous treatise, the witch hunts began to escalate. What was once whispered in the shadows became a deafening roar, consuming lives and tearing communities apart. Imagine a small village, gripped by fear. Crops have failed, illness spreads, and whispers of curses fill the air. Someone must be to blame. But who? Often the finger was pointed at the most vulnerable, women, particularly those on the fringes of society. These women, often poor, widowed, or healers, became easy targets for accusations. A simple disagreement, a whispered rumor, or even a moment of misfortune could be misconstrued as evidence of witchcraft. The accusation spread like wildfire, fueled by fear, ignorance, and often personal vendettas. Once accused, the accused faced a terrifying ordeal. Torture was commonplace, used to extract confessions, often false, from the terrified victims. The witch hunts had become a terrifying engine of persecution, driven by a toxic brew of fear, superstition, and the abuse of power. To understand the witch hunts, we must delve into the societal anxieties that fueled them. The medieval world was a place of profound uncertainty. Disease could sweep through communities with terrifying speed. People sought explanations, someone to blame. Often, blame fell upon those who were different. The elderly woman skilled in herbal remedies became a suspect. These suspicions were amplified by prevailing religious beliefs. Witchcraft provided a convenient explanation for misfortune. In 1486, a chilling document emerged from the shadows, the Malleus Maleficarum, or Hammer of Witches. written by Heinrich Kramer and Jacob Sprenger. It became the guide to hunting and persecuting witches, a blend of superstition, misogyny, and fanaticism. Witches were seen as real and ever-present, conspiring with the devil to spread disease and ruin crops. The book detailed cruel means to identify witches. Swimming a suspected witch, for example, if she floated, she was a witch. If she drowned, innocent. The Malleus Maleficarum gained notoriety and authority. Translated into multiple languages, it justified the torture and execution of countless innocents. Driven by the pronouncements of the Malleus Maleficarum, witch hunters developed a chilling obsession with finding physical proof of witchcraft. One such obsession was the search for the devil's mark, a physical blemish believed to be a sign of a witch's pact with Satan. This mark could be anything from a birthmark or mole to a scar, or even a sensitive spot on the body. Witch hunters would use needles, knives, or other sharp instruments to prick and prod the accused, searching for any area that did not bleed or caused unusual pain. Of course, the very nature of this search meant that finding a mark was almost inevitable. Any blemish, any unusual sensitivity could and would be used as evidence of guilt. The devil's mark became a self-fulfilling prophecy, a tool of terror used to justify unimaginable cruelty. For those accused of witchcraft, the legal process offered little hope of justice. Trials were often a sham, presided over by individuals blinded by fear and superstition. Torture was routinely used to extract confessions. Many confessed to acts they did not commit, hoping only for a swift end to their suffering. The witch trials were a dark chapter in human history, a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and blind faith. The Salem Witch Trials stand as a chilling testament to the power of fear and hysteria. In 1692, in a small Puritan community in Massachusetts, a group of young girls began to exhibit strange behaviors, convulsing, screaming, and claiming to be afflicted by witchcraft. Their accusations, fueled by religious fervor and simmering social tensions, quickly spiraled out of control. Neighbors turned on neighbors, friends accused friends, and the very fabric of the community unraveled. Over 200 people were accused of witchcraft, their lives upended by the girls' claims, and the community's willingness to believe the worst. 20 individuals, mostly women, were found guilty and executed, hanged as witches in a gruesome spectacle that shocked even some of the trial's initial supporters. The Salem Witch Trials serve as a stark warning from history, a reminder of how easily fear and suspicion can poison a community, leading to unimaginable acts of cruelty and injustice. In 1612, in rural Lancashire, another witch hunt unfolded, fueled by poverty and superstition. The Pendle Witch Trials centered around two families, the Demdike and Chattox families, both living in poverty. Accusations began when Alison Device cursed a peddler who refused to sell her pins. She and others were accused of witchcraft. A tangled web of accusations and confessions followed. 10 were found guilty and hanged at Lancaster Castle. The trials highlight the vulnerability of marginalized individuals. While Salem and Pendle stand out as particularly notorious examples, the witch hunts were not isolated incidents. From the 15th to the 18th centuries, A wave of persecution swept across Europe, a period often referred to as the Burning Times, fueled by religious conflicts, political instability, and social anxieties. The witch hunts reached a fever pitch. Tens of thousands of individuals, mostly women, were accused of witchcraft and subjected to horrific trials and punishments. Torture, imprisonment, and execution became commonplace, often carried out with a chilling brutality that reflected the deep-seated fear and hatred directed towards those accused of consorting with the devil. The Burning Times left an indelible scar on the European psyche, a testament to the destructive power of mass hysteria and the ease with which societies can turn on their most vulnerable members. The Malleus Maleficarum, a legacy of terror. The Malleus Maleficarum, The Hammer of Witches, published in 1486, played a central role in fueling the witch hunts. This chilling text, written by two German clergymen, provided a blueprint for identifying, torturing, and executing suspected witches. The book's influence was profound and far-reaching, shaping legal proceedings, religious beliefs, and popular attitudes towards witchcraft for centuries. Its graphic descriptions of demonic pacts, malevolent spells, and the alleged threat posed by witches instilled a deep sense of fear and suspicion, creating a climate where accusations were readily believed, and even the slightest hint of unorthodoxy could have deadly consequences. The Malleus Maleficarum stands as a chilling reminder of the power of ideas to shape history and the devastating consequences when fear and superstition are allowed to guide law and justice. Whispers of doubt. Even at the height of the witch hunts, voices of reason and compassion emerged, challenging the prevailing narratives of demonic pacts and malevolent spells. Some brave individuals, often scholars, physicians, and even members of the clergy, began to question the validity of the accusations and the brutality of the trials. They pointed to the absurdity of the accusations, the lack of evidence, and the use of torture to extract confessions. They argued that many of the accused were simply innocent victims, targeted for their beliefs, their social standing, or simply because they were different. These early voices of dissent, often silenced or ignored, represent a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness of the witch hunts, a testament to the enduring power of reason and compassion, even in the face of overwhelming fear and prejudice. The healing touch. The image of the witch, warped by centuries of fear-mongering, often obscures the truth about those accused. Many were not practitioners of dark magic, but healers, herbalists, and midwives, women who possessed knowledge of the natural world and its healing properties. These women, often living on the outskirts of villages, provided essential health care to their communities. They used herbs, poultices, and ancient remedies to treat illness, ease pain, and assist in childbirth. Their knowledge, passed down through generations, was a source of comfort and healing in a time when disease was rampant and access to formal medical care was limited. Their connection to nature, their understanding of the delicate balance between the human body and the natural world, marked them as different, as possessing a power that instilled both admiration and fear. nature's embrace. Central to the accusations of witchcraft was the belief that witches derived their power from a pact with the devil. However, many of the practices labeled as demonic were, in reality, expressions of reverence for nature, celebrations of the cycles of life and death, and rituals designed to connect with the spiritual realm. These rituals, often performed under the moonlight or in sacred groves, reflected a deep-seated belief in the interconnectedness of all living things. They honored the earth, the seasons, and the spirits believed to inhabit the natural world. Dancing, chanting, and the use of herbs and incense were not tools of evil, but rather ways to connect with the divine, to seek guidance, healing, and a sense of belonging within the vast tapestry of existence. The craft of the wise. The witch hunts sought to eradicate not only individuals, but also a way of life, a tradition of knowledge and spirituality that stretched back centuries. These traditions, often passed down orally from mother to daughter, encompassed a wide range of practices, from herbalism and healing to divination and spellcraft. Spellcraft, often misunderstood as a form of malevolent magic, was in essence a way of working with energy, of setting intentions, and seeking to manifest desired outcomes. It was a practice rooted in the belief that thoughts, words, and actions have power, and that by aligning oneself with the forces of nature, one could influence the course of events. These practices, far from being demonic, reflected a worldview that recognized the sacredness of all life and the interconnectedness of the physical and spiritual realms. Wicca, a modern path. In the 20th century, amidst a growing interest in spirituality and a rejection of rigid dogma, a new form of witchcraft emerged. Wicca, drawing inspiration from ancient pagan traditions and embracing a reverence for nature, Wicca offered a path of personal growth, spiritual exploration, and connection to the divine feminine. Wicca, unlike the distorted image of witchcraft propagated during the witch hunts, emphasizes ethical conduct, personal responsibility, and a deep respect for all living beings. It is a path of healing, self-discovery, and empowerment, celebrating the cycles of nature and the interconnectedness of all life. Wicca stands as a testament to the enduring human desire for spiritual connection and the power of reclaiming traditions once demonized and driven underground. The witch hunts left an indelible mark on history, a chilling reminder of the dangers of intolerance, fear-mongering, and the persecution of those deemed different. Yet, from the ashes of this dark chapter, a movement has emerged, one dedicated to reclaiming the narrative, honoring the victims, and celebrating the rich tapestry of traditions once condemned as witchcraft. Modern witches, pagans, and practitioners of earth-based spirituality are challenging stereotypes, dispelling myths, and sharing their truths with the world. They are reclaiming the word witch as a badge of honor, a symbol of empowerment, and a testament to the enduring human connection to nature, magic, and the mysteries of the universe. The witch hunts may seem like a distant horror, a relic of a more superstitious age. Yet the forces that fueled them, fear, ignorance, and the desire for scapegoats, are still very much alive today. Within each of us lies the capacity for both darkness and light. The witch hunts remind us that fear, left unchecked, can twist even the most rational mind, turning neighbor against neighbor, fueling prejudice, and justifying the unthinkable. When we fail to question our assumptions, when we allow fear to dictate our actions, we risk repeating the mistakes of the past. The witch hunts serve as a chilling reminder that the line between civilization and barbarity is often frighteningly thin. We must remain vigilant, guarding against the seductions of fear-mongering and the allure of simplistic explanations for complex problems. Only then can we hope to break the cycle of persecution that has haunted humanity for far too long. At the heart of the witch hunts lies a disturbing human tendency, the need to find someone to blame for misfortune, hardship, or social unrest. When faced with the inexplicable, a sudden illness, a string of bad luck, a natural disaster, people throughout history have sought explanations, often landing on the most vulnerable members of society as scapegoats. The witch hunts were, in many ways, a manifestation of this scapegoat effect on a grand scale. Women, often poor, independent, or possessing knowledge that challenged the status quo, became easy targets for accusations. They were blamed for crop failures, stillbirths, and even outbreaks of disease. Their alleged crimes are a reflection of the anxieties and prejudices of the time. The scapegoat effect, unfortunately, is not confined to the pages of history. It continues to rear its ugly head in our modern world, manifesting in discrimination against minorities, the demonization of immigrants, and the targeting of individuals or groups who hold different beliefs or values. The witch hunts were fueled by fear and scapegoating. Mass hysteria gripped entire communities. Rumor and speculation replaced reason. Suspicion ran rampant. This led to devastating consequences. The term witch hunt is still relevant today. We see it in modern moral panics and online shaming. Accusations are often unfounded. Recognizing mass hysteria is essential. The witch hunts may be a dark chapter in human history, but they offer valuable lessons for our own time. They remind us of the fragility of justice, the dangers of unchecked power, and the importance of critical thinking and empathy in an age of instant information and widespread misinformation. It is more important than ever to approach accusations with skepticism, to demand evidence, and to resist the urge to rush to judgment. We must be willing to challenge our own biases, to stand up for those who are being unjustly targeted, and to remember that the freedoms we cherish are most vulnerable when fear and suspicion hold sway. The witch hunts stand as a stark warning from history, a reminder that the flames of intolerance, once ignited, can quickly spread, consuming not only their intended victims, but also the very fabric of society itself. Let us learn from the past and strive to create a future where reason, compassion, and justice prevail. The witch hunts, though receding into the past, leave an indelible stain on history. They remind us of humanity's capacity for cruelty, driven by fear and cloaked in righteousness. Terrified faces illuminated by flickering torches, anguished cries echoing through the ages, and the somber silence of graveyards where the innocent rest. The legacy of the witch hunts extends beyond persecution. It has shaped our laws, beliefs, and perceptions of power and gender. The echoes of these injustices can still be heard in whispers of suspicion and the fear of the unknown that turns neighbor against neighbor. The witch hunts stand as a stark warning from history, a testament to the fragility of reason and the power of fear. They remind us that justice can be corrupted, twisted by prejudice, ignorance, and the lust for power. The victims, mostly women, were often those who challenged societal norms, who dared to live independently and possessed knowledge deemed threatening. Their persecution reminds us of the dangers of silencing dissenting voices and the importance of protecting the rights of all individuals. Amid the darkness of the witch hunts, glimmers of hope emerge. Voices of dissent, though often silenced, never disappeared. Courageous individuals rose to challenge fear and persecution, advocating for reason and justice. Today we face challenges echoing past anxieties and divisions. Misinformation and erosion of trust threaten to plunge us back into fear, but we have wisdom from centuries of struggle and tools for a just world. We have the power of knowledge and the responsibility to challenge injustice. The legacy of the witch hunts is also one of resilience, the human spirit's capacity to overcome adversity and strive for a better future. Let us create a world where reason triumphs over fear and empathy guides our actions. Let us build a world where ignorance and prejudice are banished by truth and compassion. Thank you for joining us on this spellbinding journey. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Explore TV, and hit the notification button to uncover more untold truths. See you next time and have a great day.